and welcome to another edition of Buzzworthy, a podcast brought to you by the High Wikipedia, a place where your dreams take flight. My name is Temi Nolua, and I'll be your guide to navigating the exciting world of entrepreneurship, innovation, and creativity. So, if you feel like this is your vibe, like, share, and follow. On today's episode, I'd like us to talk about something, and I'd like to call it Beats Difference because we have an amazing guest here with us. Is someone that I would like to say is actually genuinely built different because I met him a couple of months ago and he has become more than just a colleague, more than just the person I know. He has become a friend. But one thing that stands out about him is the fact that he's extremely passionate about what he does. He puts in his 100% into every single thing. I mean, I'm not seeing this person kick up a task and it doesn't go well. Even when it doesn't go well, you just know that he's reevaluating and taking things, going back to the drawing board. That's now it is. Well, it's called Saamu Oyebode, but I think very few people know him as that. A lot of people know him as Saamu Eléja, and I'm pretty sure that that name rings a bell because if it does, it should. So everyone, join me today as I welcome Saamu Eléja.
Thank you so much for having me, David. Hey, it's a good one. I look forward to the conversation today and amazing one.
Even how I'm looking forward to it. How is it?
Uh, I'm just there, just stop doing my thing, marketing, morning, afternoon, and it.
I mean, I've seen all you've been doing in the past couple of weeks. Maybe I should check out his Instagram. Surprises. And most of all, check out his most recently day post. The post said it was 21st of July, 2025. Check out that post. You always see intense doings. Anyway, Saamu Eléja, thank you very much for joining us.
You're all contact family.
Yeah. So I think the first question I would ask is a question that probably a lot of people have been thinking about. Why Eléja? It is selfish.
Well, I tried to selfish at one point. It didn't work.
What are
Always. Well, I think I will get to it. It was catfish. I mean, during IT period, I tried it, but it didn't work. But then that isn't exactly the reason why I chose Elijah. So because yes, I chose it, I wasn't just called Elijah by anybody. I purposely say I wanted to be called Sam Elijah. So that was as far back as 200 level, 2018 to 2019. So then, I mean, before that time, I've always been a very enthusiastic guy. Like I pick pieces of information from anything that comes around me. So on the level was when I started reading 21 Immutable Laws of Branding and 21 Immutable Laws of Brand, like of marketing too. They're like two books, like twin brothers and sister. So then from one of the principles then, I mean, it wasn't like I knew a lot when I was reading these books then, but then I was just trying to figure out things that I can do um to just help myself to become better. So in Tory level, I know people that bear Samuel. Like Samuel is a very like common, very, very popular, and a very wild deep. And yes, my surname too is a good Oyebode. I mean, it refers back to if you go down my lineage a little bit, it kind of has something to do with each one of our current anyway, by the way. So, but then I didn't really like, it didn't really click like that. And I just wanted to add a name that is not exactly the name that my parents called me. And yes, having made your name Yoruba name, I read also. I purposely reserved that name. Then we came down another side, right? But the so back then, from the book, a couple of lessons that I picked was it's important to have a brand name that I mean, while considering brand names, there are quite a number of things that you have to learn. Whether one that is easy to remember, easy to pronounce, relatable, then I mean having specific reasons behind them, and then there are some things that are just abstract. If you ask Daya, it is your story over time that will not build meaning to the name. For example, Pepsi. Can you say this is the exact meaning of Pepsi from the dictionary? No, you can't. But for mine, I engaged the departmental HOD then. I volunteered to be part of the protocol for his inaugural lecture. So then I mean, I was not beginning to now scout, okay, let me see the names that I would like to get. In secondary school, during to boot times, that the not of names, all those love king you have to become. But then I didn't really like them anymore. I want to explore that I feel it would be something that I want to hold on to for long. So when I did that protocol thing, when the professor was rounded up, he said something. He said when he was small, as his mother sells fish, then his friends used to laugh at him for the name and they call him Saamu Eléja. Looking about. He now said now, like I'm boast of being called Saamu Eléja because we're even with the fish, he's feeding a lot of people with the same fish that was being used to mock him. I noted it. Of course, I eat fisheries now. So I took note of that name, but the name sounded very weird. Saamu Eléja. It's like class. It was you get like it's not classy. But then I was reading for that. In fact, at some point, I tried to translate the name to Japanese to see if it's going to do. I saw a lot of weird stuff, but it didn't just like it didn't really make sense to me, right? So after the couple of reasons started coming up as to why I think I might want to choose this name. I'm a Yoruba boy, and I strongly believe that I'm going to be extremely successful. So I need something to constantly remind me that okay, guy, this is where you come from. Then you have to do for where your source is, and at the same time, those that are looking at me from where I also came from can see that okay, if this guy that comes from this place can do this, it can also inspire me to become better. One. Then number two, also, I firmly believe that nobody is going to carry our culture except ourselves. Now, when I started very in the name, may this person so rest in peace. Whether like that I'm referring to right now is a Professor Saamu Eléja, them just mentioning. So when I told him about like I mean when he saw one of my posts where I was posting and I was adding I am Saamu Eléja to it, he called me. He said because he bears Samuel, it was like why would be bearing Saamu Eléja? How be bearing like Eléja to the name? He asked him a question softly, but then he couldn't answer that. I said that yeah. But Zuckerberg that even have the Facebook that I posted on. Yeah, Zuckerberg is not really learning now. Zuckerberg does not even like English. But then we do not have an issue with him. And then he made a statement. He said, Sheikh cutting money, no, ni Zuckerberg, meaning that Zuckerberg is not on the same level as far as weight or value is concerned. He's not the same level as myself. So I took note of that. And that even reinforced my decision to say, this name, I will bear it. Right? It's going to be funny. But then I chose to say, this name, I'm going to bear it. And then by the time that the value is not there, I want people to ask the questions of, guy, are you the right person by this name? I've achieved one more goal. I've elevated the state of where I came from, my cultural value. I've made it to get to a point of like more global acceptance. The other part of it, you see that funny but also has its own concepts. Two things. Number one, you can't forget me easily. It's indigenous branding. It's a funny one. The place is not one that people like really want to play in, but now people are beginning to get into it. People are beginning to use like Yoruba name for their brands. But as when I started it to 2019, it wasn't that much. It wasn't that much. Of course, there were examples, but very few because it looks funny. But I felt like it's a way of also like promoting indigenous branding, right? Look, like I said earlier, nobody's going to promote us to do that ourselves. Then finally, I want everybody's first touch when you come in contact with me, especially if you understand Yoruba, to in a way put a smile on your face. If you understand that the name Elijah is funny, right? And you can just smile for the first time of hearing my name, I've achieved a goal. I don't want to know what you were doing before you got it. It's a goal for me personally, right? And that does it. I mean, over time, people are never giving me to add text reasons of Elijah, maybe because I'm doing marketing to people. So maybe I'm trying to say teachers of men, marketing for men, but then they do visualize like why I wanted to do that. I mean, I have even write an article, I have an article on it on my Medium page. It's all there. Basically been properly that okay, this is how I got to this because I'm only getting questions. In fact, someone that works with HubSpot lately sent me a message to Twitter and there this yes now. And then he said that guy, why did you pick this name? I said, okay, this and I have an article and he read it. We had a little bit of comments like afterwards. But yeah, I mean the name so far I can say it has been instrumental to a lot of things that has actually like been positive to me, to be very sincere. It seems the name sticks faster. And because I do quality stuff, sorry, I can be a little bit proud of that, but yeah, I can do that. Because I do quality stuff, to remember that this is the guy that did it, because the name is no one that is common. Saamu Eléja is just Saamu Eléja. Yes, for the other person, I think that's like a sorry.
Yeah, I have this theory, yeah, that practically, should I say like 80% of people in this city are named either Samuel or Ayo. Everyone is named Samuel. Like, there are times, them, wasn't it last week or 2 weeks ago? The same morning, I told one of my friends that is named Samuel and Ayo that practically everyone in Akure is named either one of these two. That's like maybe like 2 hours later, I was at an event and I was trying to call another Sam. Then I looked around and I realized 5 of the people around me were all named Sas. Ah, what's good? Probably everybody needs everybody. It's also nice that for you, there's a way to differentiate it. Like, okay, if I'm trying to decide, oh, what do I want to call this person? What type of Sam do I want to call that person? Exactly. We just that Saamu Eléja, like that's Sam. And I think it's really good. But when this person, when the lecturer that you talk about, when he said that why Saamu Eléja, I understand that, oh, you had your reasons and all of that, but how did it feel? Because I feel like that was probably like the beginning of you trying to brand yourself, and then Saul was already questioning it even before it started.
So
What was it like?
honestly, it wasn't good, and I really considered changing the name at that point. Like, cause it's someone that I respect so much, like I respect him a lot, and I was considering changing the name a lot. Like I considered a lot of other options. I wanted to just change away from it. That should I look stick to my name Samuel Oyebode? Is Samuel anybody or Ayundo Samuel or something? But somehow I can't have a strong perception because at the early stage of trying to like pick up the name. In fact, I even doubted if it was possible for me to gather enough value that will make this name acceptable. Because someone brought it up to me again that it is a Yoruba name, it cannot scale global. That only about those that speak Igbo, that speak Hausa, those that speak German and every of those things, that I'm going to be giving them problem to pronounce my name. I honestly wanted to change it. But you know what? That Zuckerberg example popped up again in my mind, right? And then I kept on getting like some instances that posed this opinion to me that this name is not exactly the issue. The issue is me. Like the issue right there is that those that are having issue with stuff finding it difficult to have a reason to hold on to my choice. Because, for example, is it sorry, not a disrespect to the professor, but then when he was alive, if it was let me give a funny name, right? Let's say so somebody is bearing Agiding Bina, and then the person is now the president of Nigeria. You know, at that point, what to be looked at is no longer the name. It is the seat that the person like is sitting on, what the person is carrying and alongside the name. So I looked at that. It is because I actually do not have anything. And it's not even literally about more than 90. It means something that matters to the public or something that matters to them or something that matters to others that they respect was not there at that point in time. But for early believers that could see it, they were it's well it's a good one. And I kept on giving myself like reasons to say this name. Honestly, I won't lie to you. As of last year, I see had reasons to want to change the name.
Seriously?
Yeah, see had reasons.
That was like 5 years ago.
Yes, I still had reasons to want to change the name because see, well now and at that point I just had to be like some there's always some certainty at every point that something always come that will make someone feel like they can be a better also. But this one, really I think that's so good. And I said we don't stick to it. But yes, it wasn't easy for me at that point, but the adamant sense that I had back then, and when I mean adamant, I didn't mean to be negative. I mean to say I had justifiable reasons. I had not gathered enough proof to back up those reasons. I just stick to it as well. Anyway, it will turn out, let it turn out that was of it.
Wow. You know, when you said that 5 years, 5 years after you started using that need, you were still considering changes. Like there would always be doubts. Was there something that made you want to change? Was there like a trigger?
Okay, yes, there was a trigger, and I still remember that particular experience. So it was a call. It it was a meeting. I can't remember the exact month now, but I knew it was last year. It was a call. It was a meeting. Someone that I met from Twitter. Right, we had a conversation, and then this person said, Saamu, what do you think about considering like rebranding in the future? And then at that point, where the conversation between me and that person was coming from was not exactly around the branding. It was more exactly like positioning for opportunity. So when he mentioned that, and honestly speaking, he gave very valid reasons. And in fact, he even he even gave me an example, right, of someone that kind of got racial abuse because of name peculiarities, blah blah blah. And I look at it as, this thing is possible. That yeah, that this is it's a very very valid concern from the person, because what if somebody that wants to work with me choose not to work with me because the person feels like, why should I work with a Yoruba man? And in fact, it's even very obvious from afar. Why should I? It's very much possible. But then I also thought of it. Life is always with pros and cons, right? Okay, let me give a quick example, not exactly about the name now. So I used to have this on my LinkedIn by Manchester United fan. Yes, I like, it was always there. And it cost me a job in 2022.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, because someone that had been viewing my WhatsApp status for long, that had not always commented, knew what I was doing, referred me to a boss in the UK. Then that person went to check my LinkedIn profile. The person supposed to be a diehard Manchester United fan. And I think a month before that time, the person went to Manchester United, went to the stadium, did a lot of stuff. So it was still a very ringing experience in him. And when they saw it, he came to my DM. He said, okay, let's talk, let's chat, let's see if we can do this work. And then we fixed a meeting. Interview was what the meeting was supposed to be meant for. We spent up to 2 hours, 30 minutes on the call. We did not do interview for more than 15 minutes. The rest, we were discussing Man. The final that we lost. I think that time it was still Ole Gunnar that was still the coach. Yes, we were just talking about Man. He was sending me pictures of when they went home, like to the studio, to end up like everywhere. It's all like around this stadium, and it worked. Fun fact: a Chelsea fan would have seen that too, and also be angry that, because I don't like it, Jerry. Oh, he gets it now. So that's I don't feel like we can't be totally positioned for the right thing. There would always be a gift to take. Like, I mean, one of my strongest principle right now in life is that if I ask something, it means I either paid for it or someone else is paying for it somewhere, or someone else has paid for it. I believe life is giver. If you can't have it all, you have to give something to get something, or something has to be given to get something in return. Nothing stands on its own without an input. So it says, well, since there are good enough reasons to the name, therefore I don't know. Fine. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so Saamu Eléja. Should ring the bell. I mean, there's no you do forget the name. Like,
Exactly.
I remember the first time I met you, and you're like, "Oh, hi, my name is Saamu Eléja." I was like, "Eleja." That was a very expression. I was like, "Eleja." You're like, "Yes, Saamu Eléja." I said, "Oh, okay. Hi." Please selfish. I mean, when I hear other people talking about, oh, this is what I do, I sell this, and you don't say anything about you selling fish, I'm like, then why you call the Eleja for kush sake?
Just happens.
I think it was really cool. But patient has talked about you are in Manchester United or your LinkedIn, but I think that's another thing about, should I say, niching down. There are a lot of people, when like now, let's say as a web developer now, you are into you choose or maybe for consultants, or I develop website for consultants. That means a lot of people feel like, "Oh, because I'm picking only consultancy, I I'm losing opportunities from others." But now I might say your perspective on that, on niching down. Like, let's say you're a marketer now, you're like, "Oh, I only market for fashion brands," or, "Oh, I only market for events, I only do marketing for whatever." I just want to know what's your opinion on that, really.
I will start from where I stopped just now. Life is give and take. Honestly speaking, if I believe that if everybody can add that perspective to what we do, sometimes some things will not feel like a loss, it feel like a plus. Now, a couple of things happened between last year till now. I mean, my birthday is in few days, and I checked. Like, I'm currently to reflecting, and I looked at it. There were some very painful things that happened. Now, I'm still being back to that. Do there are some very painful things that happened. I don't deny that. Honestly speaking, I would wish that it did not happen when they like before they happened. But the happenings were what led me to make some other right choices. For example, I've said this multiple times that my best job last year came from me volunteering to be the marketing lead for LinkedIn Local Akure, right? And because at that point in time, I lost my job because the company was no longer getting funded. So it was a startup. So I mean, many staff were laid off. So at that point, my goals shifted from, okay, I needed a better opportunity. Of course, my personal brand was still getting stuff for me, but I needed to have a stable one by the side. It made me to do a bit more research to say, okay, guy, for this event that I'm marketing, I don't care whatever that person will be benefiting from it. I'm concerned about what I want to get. So I already made up my mind that this event, I'm going to write a case study on it, and I'm going to put it out as soon as possible. And the case study, the day I posted it, it wasn't even up to 3 hours. I know I can't remember the exact hours. I think it was more than that. But that same pay, someone that we've never talked before, we've never met, just saw the post, enter my DM on Twitter, guy, okay, I saw this, you can do this. And then the person came, we talked that same day, we agreed on the deal, agreed on the money, sent my entire money, and I cried after yes, because honestly speaking, there was no way I could have predicted it at me. Now, this is the lesson that I want to pick up from there, is that I lost where I was currently working, and it led me to go and look out for what I'm supposed to do for where I currently am. Just the concept of give and take is what I want to pick up from there. Niching down is a perfect example of give and take. You are giving away opportunities to do many other things, to acquire time to do better things in one single space or in a specified space rather. Now, there are calling maps everywhere now. I mean, people that do multiple stuffs. I do multiple stuffs, right? But life is in stages, it's in batches. As we grow with intentionality, we would understand the value of niching down more to be seen as somebody that is more proficient in this space. If you ask anybody on Twitter that knows me that Saamu Eléja, what do you think this guy can do for me? They would likely tell you event marketing first. They would likely tell you. Then secondly, they will not start talking about the social media market. You cannot meet somebody that knows me for the first time and they say that Saamu is good in email marketing. They won't tell you. It's not as if I don't do it, though, but they won't tell you. It is not at the forefront of what I can do, right? What other thing can I mention? Okay, life cycle marketing too for startups, like where you have to do an automation for your lead generation, building like the old funnel for how you want to retain them, which all blah blah blah, every of those things. You can't directly come to me for that right now, because the thing is, I have not been saying this is what I can do, but if you're looking for the better person, event to events, like I'm so sure I can see the nook and crannies of everything that can happen. Like, I am so sure. I've been doing it for years. I mean, the first event that I can remember that I was a part of was 2018. Was that 2018? Yeah, 2018, when I was a part of Hot Price Photos media protocol team back then. If I went to join the regional team for welfare, and then I even had to do like virtual team. And a couple of other things. I've been involved in events for a long time. So, and because I have been always positioning myself to let people see that, okay, this is what I know crazily about. Of course, the company where I currently work at, I'm not working for event marketing. I'm working in social media content, like as social media content marketing manager. But what I'm trying to say this is because niching down is important for when the best of opportunities were to come. And I'm also always very careful about using the word niching down. I think specificity is is a better word to use. Being very specific that this is what they should know you for. So if it is truth is, let people know you for it. If it's to be a generalist too, let it be clear that you are a generalist, so that anybody that wants to come to you that needs specific things will not come to with you, will not come and stress you. But somebody that wants to put a generalist in place, you know that that guy, jama, no worry, go on. Is the truth. So it's good to be, I think specificity is the most important thing to say here. Of course, like I said, life is in batches. Every one of us, as much as we are being intentional like me with our lives, we would recognize where we want to stick to one thing. Or that's when we need to stick to one thing, or when we need to go to two, when we need to go to three. I dropped off quite a number of projects in the last 3 to 4 months. I mean, multiple, just because I want to focus, like I want to have laser focus on few things. I mean, two things basically, laser focus. Every other things, they are secondary, like assistant, secondary. And it's not because I don't like them, it's not because I can't do that. Right? I mean, we talk sometimes and then me and my friends sometimes and ideas just flow from anywhere because I consume a lot of articles, I consume like a lot of video, and of course the more you consume contents, the more ideas what is that regularly meet I feel like around you. I guess I always feeling, but can I have time to do everything? No, I cannot. Right? So and the only way to become effective at one is to paint those other ones first. Of course, sorry, I want to answer something very funny. I'm not Nepo BB. Yeah, like I don't have that plenty money to say, okay, I will start this thing and go and put people there and mine is off bit to bit to delegate or to just like manage it, make they do their things. I can't. I don't have the resources yet. Right? But for the resources like that I have, it is going to determine that Saamu, focus on this. What many people are looking for is that when you do multiple things, you have multiple access to money. Yes, it works, but you would also have multiple access to burnout. You will also have multiple access to issues with people because you have to manage multiple people at the same time. So that one too is another skill on its own. You get what I have to say. So that's why I said at every respective point that everybody is, once you recognize that this is where you currently are, you would know whether you are supposed to carry on multiple things or just stick to one. So I don't think anybody doing either of the two is wrong. I don't believe that you are wrong. You cannot say this is why you are doing this. That's what I believe.
Okay. But one question there. How did you even get into marketing? I mean, I was going through your LinkedIn recently and I saw that you put 5 years of marketing. What were you doing 6 years ago? What were you doing 7 years ago? What you really need to market it?
Okay. Back then, 2018, I was selling chin chin and yes, no, I was selling chin chin and treatments. Seriously, so in fact, the chin chin business, I ate it myself. So powerful mark. So you know I'm making it. No, keep it. So the way it was when I ate that right. Right. No, this one left like Labo is bad. So it didn't okay. I take a quick backstory to the way I ate that futa. It was a very funny one, the very weird one. It was a very crazy one. I did a lot of stuff to get into futa. A lot of stuff. I mean, my parents did their best, but then their best was just not enough. No bashing words to them makes me appreciate them what they could have been able to do. So when I got into futa, I needed to squat with people. I was even in a place, a 2 bedroom flat, but none of the bedroom belonged to me. So the 2 bedrooms were filled with 5 people, 3, 2. Then 7 of us, including you, were staying in the sitting room. So,
Ah.
uh, and that to live for another time, right? So now the problem was I've always had this crazy survival instinct. I don't believe anything is impossible. Like this crazy survival instinct. I mean, I believe if you knock harder, you will see something that is supposed to be an escape route. It is just not going to be the norm. It is just not going to be the norm, but there's going to be something that can explain it that it is possible, right? So then I had to survive, honestly. So there was someone that I met from the church that I was going before I got into school there. And then bro Tunde, Brian Tunde, thank you so much for everything that you did for me. I hope you can see this. So yeah, seen it, but he invested. He started with 1,000 naira, 100 level. Of course, changing of 50 naira as at 2018. 2018, it's a lot now. So he bought the chin chin then. I think it was his friend that was making it was a milky kind of chin chin. So they brought a number for me. They said, okay, Saamu is giving me this as investment. Go and do this business. Let's see how it goes. Hmm. In ETF, there, I don't know if anybody uses ETF, and like one of those people building for the on the level lecture. So my bag here, not this plastic. Just pens. The data story is off. So I'll take it with myself, put it beside me, and once class is over, I'm going to the front. I'll reply, we will not take us on me. I'm going to like to the front, partying my chin chin. There is chin chin shouting, but because I have to say it. I'm just playing that I didn't have a boot phone back then. I could have gotten like so few pictures to keep, but I still believe someone somewhere will tell the truth because they on the level they want to laugh at you, say, everybody just snap out. But then so just to cut the whole story short, so I did that, and then after Sapphire, I think like 2 days, there was nothing really to eat. I ate the whole chinchin. I went back the wheat snip, sir, at the chinchin, profit to revenue. It asked me, said, okay, he bought and that's it for me. The same thing repeated itself. Ah. And at that point, I was now too shy to go back to him. I didn't go back to him. I stayed and be like, guy, there has to be something to do, right? Of course, I didn't know anything about markets back then. I just had the belief that this guy, I don't know where I'm going to, but that the way it will make itself clear to me if I continue to be this darling that I will first out to do. So back then, I moved to selling troops. Now, this one was in 2 ways. One of my friends there was selling troops, so I would collect from him, sell to people, take my own, maybe like 100 naira, believe it, and then get it back to him. I think gradually from there was where I was beginning to really like have interest in market, but I didn't know that this was what I was doing. I shall know that I was doing it informally. So after then, I left that one business. I went to be doing middleman for many importation guys too there, right? I used to sell ladies belts, these black belts that ladies use on skirts, say hair, out of list belts that you now tie here. I need to sell them. I mean, then because I want to maximize my profit, I would trek instead of sending a delivery guy to go and deliver. You get, of course, now because the profit margin was not so much. Let's say I'm collecting it from someone like from 1,002 and I'm selling it for 1,005. If I sell it back, 100 naira is already gone. And that many I can buy that. I put up cuckoo trek, go and come back. But then it wasn't a wise decision because I was always getting tired. And at night, I wasn't able to really, like read so much. So after then, I met, because then here, I was not being exposed to events. I was attending events, small, after class, before class, weekend, online, physically. So I met the current founder of Salesplat, Olatunde Zipto, and thank you for everything that he also did too. He was the one that first gave me the real chance to see what true learning of a corporate skill means. So that was 2019 to coming towards the end, around I think August or September. So then I joined one of his classes. He added me to the classes. I mean, I learned a couple of things from him, teaching people. I transcribed for him. Then from there, he was launching a startup then. The startup now in sales patch technologies, but then it was Salesforce X. So myself and a couple of other people, we did internship with him. And then we were up to I think 80 or so. And only like I think 6 of us graduated out of that 80. Yes. But then I mean no what did they push me? I mean no. So the internship pattern towards where COVID-19 was beginning to get into play. So when we had that COVID break, I went into I did that was when I started. I was in a very weird for that time. But then now this is what really made me feel like this market is set a good one. So because of my first poor batch intake, so what I would always do is there's a place called Archidecor in I think inside Futa. I will leave my house around 7:30 in the morning. with my play pants and my nonsense shirt that time. Just going to school, charge the phone, press it, join classes, do assignments, because they always send us assignments every day. Find this article, read about this, submit this, blah blah blah. So that was where the whole thing started. But in the initial stage, it didn't make it so clear to me that I was going to be learning marketing. It was teaching me in prod stores. So at that time, no pointed to me that okay, do I not think I could have a good career in this space? And I looked at it that well, it's not as if I know that stuff. I used to be a designer too. Right? I still designed a few stuff for myself thanks to Canva. But I wanted to go put a little using of Corel or Photoshop before I met him. But I now figured this is something that I can begin to do without having to take so much of time to get to master my skills. No, not the time was not even the problem there. The problem was before I finished learning. She don't now have things will. So then we'll start this one now. And then that was how it all started. I mean, I was distracted at a point. I got into an investment scheme. I mean, it was a very crazy, like, that was one of the biggest experience that changed my perspective about life to now. Because I got into it with, I think, 20K that I was able to save up and get. I was, it was a scam investment scheme. Oh. You know, this investment of bring this, you get this percentage after you like all to kind of like CBEX. But this one, ECG. Anybody that knows it to where prices from YouTube, but that's not what we're talking about, right? So then, in the space of a month, the 20K already turns to like 3 point something here, or even more than that. Go, I can't remember the exact figure. The money was so much. But now this is where I learned my lesson because while I was doing your stores, I was not buying tools. I didn't change my phone. Okay, I know I got change cable to one Techno Power 3 Plus. I was not doing. All I was doing was just eat. I shall dey chop food go dey go to chicken rep go and eat, go to Captain Cook but how Captain Cook that time I just go buy half chicken myself alone stay there with una there eat finish belch then go and sleep. But then when the money disappeared and then this guy took away the money because some of the money in mine, a part of it was no longer mine. I think it was accumulated to 5 point something that time, sha. But some were mine, some was not mine, some were supposed that it parted to me. But then because it was a nationwide scam there, so nobody could hold me to anything. Because in fact, compared to some people, my money was just like a small chunk. That 5% thing, it was a small amount compared to some people, right? I mean, I know two guys that accumulated up to more than 30 something million at the morning appeared. Yes, like it's a lot, but that is by the way. So after the money disappeared, I literally went into depression, but but my style of depression there was not crying, it was sitting like in one place. For months, I could not focus on work. For months. For months. So there I resorted to sporty bets. Oh my god. See, that's sporty bet out there in me and my guy. We have a book there. We have a book there. I booked it. Then over left for the 12 months now. We are learning on that it all in such stores. So there we have a book. What we do is we without a bit of money, we only have like 1K. You bring 500, I bring 500 naira, we put it together. Then we use to play virtual there. So the money, the amount of money that we used to stake is 30 naira. Then 30 naira. Okay. So what we do is we are always why we have the book is every round of game that we play, we will record everything because we are always trying to target some particular odd. That kind the odd was 18 odd. One was 23 odd, one was Ottawa odd. It's always on. But the thing is, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, but we have the higher chance of winning. We can't book. But because we not have enough money, before the result that monkey, we would have turned it over to like 4,000 naira. So once it gets to that 4K, we will remove like 3K, remain 1,000 naira there. That 3K, we have to buy Gary. Sometimes we just like make ourselves happy, buy sweet upon there. You know those for us, I'm gone. So there, that was where I was beginning to pick myself back up. Then I now joined some challenges on Facebook, writing challenge for 21 days, 31 days, and that was how I was beginning to pick myself back up. That was how depression flew away. In fact, like now I was having to joke, and I just need I need to get back and go into this fully. At that point too, right, I still made a couple of mistakes before I can fully say I really was now fully vested into marketing, because I was doing a lot of things theoretically, like not with the practical idea of this is what I want this to be in this couple of times. So most especially financially. So the business part of what I was doing there, I wasn't actively learning it. So I did a lot of stuff for free. And not just for free, I did a lot of stuff without saying this is what it is going to connect to help me myself. Right. So then that like that was how it would continue until 2020 left, 2021 came, specificity was coming, improvement was coming, then 2022, and from then that's how it has continued to be. I mean, less. I mean, 20. I think remember this experience then 2021, where someone hired me at a laundry brand to do marketing manager, but them I was paying 5K per month, and this guy he would pay me 3K. At the end of the month, he will say he paid the mini 2K. So when it's done the next month, he now pay 5K. We ask, okay, this one's again, I still owe you 2K. There's you still owe me 2K today. And though if you see send a 2K, it's by Tuesday also, yeah. Okay. So yes, that's what that's all I mean. There are some things that I'm missing in the middle because I really did a lot of things. A lot of I used to be a church sexton, like church janitor. Yes, I held the church key for over a year. I used to be, yes, I used to be, yes, I did a lot of things. I did a lot of things. I used to be a delivery guy too, yes, I remember. But then, it's not saying I had a bike or car, but someone that does like every product, purchases, and then I will collect everything. I'm sending it to different places. I'll go to Afune, Westgate, I'll go to Ijapo, I'll go to town. Yes, and after
Oh my God. I think this is where we'll now talk about the major difference between Nepo baby and Lapo baby.
the difference has always been clear now. I mean, I see made the post about it lately, and the truth is, just recognize where you are and use it to your best interests. Honestly speaking, there's nothing else outside that knows. If we go to and fro, we will come back here. We will always come back here because currently, with all the skills that are shared, right, I know I've been hardworking, but I've seen my mistakes. I've seen people that did not have up to me when I started this whole thing. With all this, where I've explained my whole problems. So I've seen people that still did not have up to me and that have gone past me. I've also seen people that they had more than me and have gone past there. So I feel like this whole uh Nepo Dabo conversation is just self-realization is the most important thing. Just don't forget that this is where they started from. And then this is where you are gotten to find your mistakes, correct them, and move. There's no story and anyway. Just move. Just move. There's always a space for movement and for growth. That does it too.
You said to find your mistakes. How I know the other time when we were talking about, oh, you were really depressed because of what happened. When you make plans for something and things don't go according to plan, do you do?
I take responsibility for it and then progress. Now,
Okay.
I want to say a bit into it. I've had a couple of people tell me that this is not how to live life. Honestly, because I kind of fairly quickly to go past, that scenario of something bad happen. I want to be like this. Hey, oh more, this you don't have a deal. How you want to wallow in that situation? It is a very bad excuse. But I think life has shown me some kind of angles, and I've seen that, bro, it is fine to think about it small, but don't think about it too long, bro. Go and find solution. There is nothing like the bottle like that I want to face that nobody has faced before. Some people have faced and then gone past it. So the perspective to mistakes is that, of course, there are some mistakes that there are no opportunities to correct them again. Right?
Yeah.
For example, impregnating somebody now, it will change my entire career direction. It will change it. Of course, I'm not too small to get married, but plan wise, as it stands, it is not yet time. Do you get it? So now if it happens, right? Because it cannot happen, but it happens. I like that can't. But if it happens, right? I just put it in the quick scenario. Okay, let me not lose progress. There's the same thing much more dating. Let's say my two phones get lost today and my laptop gets stolen. Honestly speaking, I will go wild. I will feel good for days. I mean, right? Like I used to persist correct. If the two get lost at the same time, with the two phones and it's just gone, I'll just I'll feel so crazy. But you know what's funny? I can be so sure that's me, oh, Saamu. In the process of crying, I'm already looking for a way out. Yeah, this to empty all my account to go and find a relative, or else is to look for somebody that I just know that there is always a solution for every mistakes, every problem. I just know. Of course, it will be easy. And it is inside that discomfort that the solution actually lies because it is made to be felt. It is meant like to be felt. I even believe the end result is not the solution like in itself. It is the process itself, because that is what brought the end result now. So it is the process of trying to find the way out that is the real solution in itself. So I don't put my attention too much on the end result. Of course, that also has like its own side effect because when the result comes, you might feel like there's more to do. So you also have to be intentional to celebrate yourself, but better get out of the problem. And when you now start and when you now start winning, there's a need to be intentional about that too. But you see that problem part. I mainly talk to myself. I won't stay too long in thinking about problem. I won't stay too long about spending so much of thought on it. I would spend in little time in it, and while I'm still spending that time in it, maybe thinking of what next, bro, what to do, what to do. That's my app.
I can take your laptops after a few days.
Well, I did third take is and I don't take. So you just appear now. It's on you. It's not me. We start me. Adi. Sorry.
So you said something about making sure that you sort of enjoy or rejoice when you get things done. I have to what you do when things go wrong? What do you do when things go well?
Okay, so I used to do this. I stopped at some point. Not like I stopped intentionally, but then it just came along the line. I used to separate a portion of money to bond. So boy. Yes, and when I make bond, I don't care what I use it to buy. I used to do it. Maybe I will resume sometime, but then I don't think I want to do that now. But then I used to do it. I just feel like once I collect this money, they will say that it was only 10%. Once it comes in, bro, I don't want to know whatever problem I have at that point. If the 10% is maybe I made a 100K and 10% is 10K, I just carry the money, leave my house, buy suya, buy drink, buy whatever fish that the thing can carry, and just finish it. One day I will not come back. Oh yeah, it's remaining 90K. I will not explain that. I used to do that. Then to remind myself that broke, I may work for this thing. Let me also chop the money because what am I saving for? Say, what if I die tomorrow? Oh God, I will die. You God, they make up, right? But the truth is, I used to do that. Then the other thing that I also do is documentation. And what I'm definitely documentation is because the more we become better at what we do, the more chances of imposter syndrome popping up in the line of one's journey, right? So what reminds me of the quality of what I can do is what I've documented. I mean, I used to think that I was not as good as some certain people in some certain location. I don't want to mention name, but we all can begin to guess already. But I spent some time there lately, right? And then I've met a couple of people, and I feel like you need to make it look like because I'm in Accra. Like I mean, like because I've spent so much of time in Accra is why this thing is like it. Like maybe that's why I'm not getting some opportunities. Look at it. Oh, I don't think that is like that though. I think the issue is actually like the way I kind of be positioning myself for some of these things. So when good things happen, for more good things to happen, it's important to recognize that na me do am. So when something good or something better now was to come that requires my past experience, I don't feel like I am too small for it. I went out with that this thing I fit do am and I go do am. Even if it go hard, even if it will need me to do some extra like research, I know I've done something before that has a similar skill or close to skill to what I bring it to my table. So sometimes in joyful period, right, I document so that I can feel happy, so that I can feel built. Of course, not every time. It is because works on that level and allow you to remember that that you don't contain. It dictates another level of intentionality to see back to what you have written, right? Or to even take notes in the first place. So yes, in at the moment when everything is happening, I document them. I make videos. I write stuff about them. I post them. So that when things was to drag me down, I will go back to them and see that you did this, bro. You did this. Continue, Joe. Continue. And then yes, I also share my wounds with my loved ones. Yes, I share it with them. I mean, I talk to my mom, talk to my dad, my sisters. And yes, I do that.
Do you when you make a post, do you still get nervous?
Me. Yeah. I'm not among those people. Should I tell you what? Huh? I can place a bet that nobody watches my video like me. Nobody. There is nobody. There is nobody. Like there is nobody. I edited a video through the night. I've watched the video more than 12 times after the editing, like from beginning to the end. Oh. The video is yet to be out. But I've watched it up to 12 times. 12 times. I love to see my handwork. So then, if you like watch it, if you like don't watch. Of course, I set KPIs for myself for things to improve, for things to get better. But there is no place. There is no way. I go back to my Instagram page multiple times after I made a post to go and watch what is there. I watch that I spy. You know, me too. I'm on a real kind of best. I mean, I send messages to people and I play it again. I mean, I did see someone where people say they feel cringe. Say to themselves, I'm sorry, I'm not that. Well, I'm not that sort of person. I love myself that much. Like I look as okay. Let me do a little bit of another bragging. A little bit. I'm not there yet. I started working out because of Iniji in 2020. Yes, 2020. Right. Yes, 2020. When I started working out because of Iniji, and this particular person, right? She used to tell me that okay, this is kind of person that she would like to be with, and for that, I did not say so. So when I saw the picture, I'm like, hey, skinny me like this. What would I do? Okay, so my reason I said, okay, I need schools. I mean, work out, eat, diet is important. What I do, what I take in. But I also figured that, okay, and as important as diet is, the fact we get the money to do a couple of things, still being able to do some home workouts, body workouts will begin to like shape the body gradually before, if, be, before getting resources that would make the body build faster. So what was happening is I would be building, but I would not just build fast. So then I started, and after this, they broke my heart. It happened, my heart. That one. That was a very, like, very wrong thing to do for me there. I mean, I didn't do it well. But yes, she didn't agree to it, and they still started. And after that chapter closed, I still continued. Of course, I stopped at some point. I would start again. I stopped. But let me use this year as an example. I've been consistent this year that a single day has not passed that I'm not done with anything relating to workouts. There's no single day. The day that was close to missing it was when I made twice now. That had like malaria. What I just did, I just went to my bedroom, carry and two pockets of water. I just visited like 10 times, and that was enough for the day. I was doing that because I want to look at myself in the mirror and see that my chest is standing properly. Sorry, don't mind me, right? Or to wear clothes, and I will look at myself that okay, the clothes is standing as it's supposed to stand, and it's looking as it's supposed to look because my body can carry it. I don't want to wear a clothes that is meant for a muscular person. Of course, I'm not there yet, I'm not totally muscular, but I will still just my fit and I feel good. So I love myself so much. I look at myself in the mirror factually every day. And so there's of course negative comments come on them and you feel like where you killing links or right. But sorry you most time before it will get to me, you would have to go deep. Cause I've appreciated myself much more than that. My dad wants to appreciate me. They appreciate the kind of guy that I am. I mean, my sisters whine me sometimes. Ah, this guy he likes English, but maybe that's what you're telling that okay, guy, you are doing pretty good stuff. So that's how I see myself. Like every now and then, nothing less.
I think it's hard for people to, should I say, build a solid self-esteem. A lot of people are used to, I should not love myself that much, or it becomes, should I say, I can't think of the word right now, but it's now more than self-love. It's now size pride. And at this point, you get like, but maybe as Africans also, we've been told that, oh, be humble, don't be too focused on your looks and all of that. But I think it is because another thing that I've noticed is the fact that physical appearance, it sort of impacts your emotional state, it impacts your um should I say psychological state also, because when you feel like, oh, I'm should I say presentable? I feel everyone is presentable, but if you feel confident in how you look at that point, you're able to do things. I mean, I'm able to stand up in places, they're able to go to places and get things. So I think that self esteem is pretty important in things that you do. And it's nice to see that someone actually loves themselves.
Is the of love first fan. No mama, in fact 0-0 fan. So they can be number one take for 1-0-0 like nobody reads it.
Okay, moving on. What is the most painful thing that's happened to you since they started?
So I started marketing.
Yeah, or your career generally, like something that's, I mean, I was going through your post yesterday and I can't remember where, but like topic I read about your journey within the past couple of years and your birthday coming up and all of that. But is there anything that has happened during your career that you feel like, nah, this shouldn't have happened?
Okay. There are quite a number of them. The one that is coming to my mind right now, I won't say it. Yes, the one that is coming to my mind like right now, I won't go into it, but I will just give an hint about it. And it's that I wanted to do extremely well somewhere, but I didn't have the opportunity to do that for long. So that is just by the way. But the one that I would really like to point my attention to, the most painful thing in marketing for me, right? I mentioned it already earlier, and it's that how I wish that I had learned the business side to my career before now. I would have gone farther than this. Very, very far. Like very far. In fact, aside the fact that it would have given me more money, it could have allowed me to know what skill to best focus on learning at that point. And then the ones that are meant to be secondary or like subsidiary skills. Sometimes when I was in Tarai, I was a very popular guy, but very popular and broke. Yes, I didn't leverage my popularity enough. In fact, I didn't use it properly. Of course, yes, I won't lie. It is part of what like still helped me up to where I am currently. But I know a couple of people that we started the same team almost the same time and are much better now. And it's not as if they had the resources then we're able to do. We're almost on the same level, right? So while I was focusing on being popular, they were focusing on being richer. You get it? But the problem was not exactly anybody's fault. It's just environment. I will keep it at environment. I could be a bit more specific, but I'll keep it at environmental influence affected me back then. So I was thinking that piling up of more work to do is what will lead to more opportunities coming around. Like there's no work like that. I regret it every now and then. If there's any regrets that I can say that if I remember and it still pains me, is that it pains me and then it goes a bit. I don't think about it too much. Like I always say, whenever I remember, I'm always like, if they tell it that like I'm backtrack or reverse my career so far, because that 2019, 2020, 2021, I wish I did a lot of stuff more intentionally. I wish I did. I wish I did that have gone very far, because being a student has a lot of advantage when it comes to one's career that one can never see when made outside. Yes, that one can never see. And in the one is out of school, one is out of school. It's already come. It's not possible anymore. So yes, that's the biggest regret for me. If I'm going to advise anybody right now, I do ensure I try to add that clause to it. Peace. Life is not funny. Oh. Learn the business side of what you are doing. If it's a passion project, it is okay. But passion projects plus something that you are doing that you understand the business of making money with it, because passion will die if there's no money to fund it. You are not DJ Kupi that started the foundation and anybody gave him 5 billion. You are just coming from zero or from one, or every man was one. If you want to see what do I have for you, I do the hell of the advising me. And about to give people like this advice is kind of segmented to those that are like know when they started. There's no money, there's no food. All you had is just rigorous energy to do anything, to use any opportunity around you to learn. Borrowing laptops, borrowing phone, borrowing chargers, jumping up and down, doing assignments for people to get money to feed yourself, doing group works just because you want to do it for like for them to pay you the money that they're supposed to pay others. You know, any of those things. If you are in that situation, you have no business, you have no business doing things because you feel like passion, you will regret the passion later. It's not the truth. So that's like my biggest regret back then. Of course, from the beginning, right, there's space to fail, there's space to try. In fact, that's even more reasons why I'm even reactivating this. At that beginning, start doing that business from the beginning of learning too, because you begin to fail in doing it properly there, but there's not enough noise to increase the volume of your failure. So you can fail silently and like nobody will see it. Maybe you failed a negotiation, you failed in this because someone said that he did not dress well. Have somebody said that he did not appear well to the interview. Have somebody said that he did not do well in your packaging, in your pricing, or you sent a wrong message. Those times is the best, because once you are now becoming, it now became a thorn in my flesh, because how I'm becoming so popular and people were expecting some things from me, because I didn't put it to my basics. So it affected. So when I finished, or when I got to Friday, like Friday, I was beginning to cut some stuff. Like in fact, even after like graduation, I went to start cutting some stuff, cutting before it all like began to make sense. Like to where I am currently now. I'm grateful to God. Things are going fine, and I believe it's going to be much more better. But if I will correct that, I would. Yeah.
Learn the business part. I was talking with someone.
Learn and practice.
Oh, learn and process. But talking about, oh, if you could learn something else, if you could go back to school and learn something else. I'm also like, oh, business. And I think a lot of people have been learning or understanding that part a lot more now, that no matter what you do, if you want to be successful, you still need to understand the concept of business.
You just have to. Everything is a
Like
business.
it's like in your daily interaction.
Everything is a business. What we are doing right now is a business.
True.
Let me give you a quick example. If I want to apply for a global technician visa, global talent visa right now,
Yeah.
this can be an advantage to me. Because why? Where the podcast is going to be out, right? It adds to credibility because my name is connected to an incubator that accelerates brands and has a good name. Visibility online too, more good things are connected to my name. So when I am filing application for some of those stores, I have things to present that, okay, I was a guest at this place to speak. It's an investment into myself. A reverse to for the incubator, when I become a much more bigger person, the incubator can refer back to it. That's my early stage of my career, because I still believe that this is in day one. you can revert back to that. Okay, I did this with the Hive. It's a good way for us to continue to have a much better cordial relationship as time goes by. It's an investment, right? So some of these things, it is just going to be that you need to be able to identify which part of the whole picture is this investment going into. So which was the mistake that I had back then? Because I am done in a lot of stores. A lot of stores. Like I can't even remember everything right now until I see a glimpse. Until I see a hint. Like, okay, let me give another example. When I was at 300 level, me and my friend, I was doing a 40th anniversary day. So there was a preaching event. Me and my guy was the one that run it, Samuel Paul. We were trying to build a startup back then, Aqua, to provide products for people that wants to do weight loss using aquatic products. And then there was even good idea like back there, but then there was no money to do practical, so we were trying roughing everything together. And there was this pitch we were going to win one. I think it was 120K. Yes, it was 120,000 and then 2020, there was another 2021. Yes, I took 2021 after I could do 19 period, and then we did the pitching. I still remember Jamie and this guy, we stayed up at night to do the pitching. Blah. Now, I'm going somewhere, after we won the pitching, food are called us to come and record some things so that they can put it on their page. Yeah, by guy, we played with it too. We played with it. Now it's supposed to be a reference for us now on Footer's website, of Footer's Facebook page, that we have PhD, and it could have helped a lot of credibility later on. Maybe now, of course, I know Footer is going to call me one later. What to have me now? I know they will see call. But the truth is, that could have been an extra. And it was because there the focus was on the money we wanted to win. We couldn't even progress like with the startup. Of course, Paul is still running Upper Ogram. He's doing well, but then I left as the co-founder. Then I left out of board. But a lot of those things could have been put to much more profitable use if there was intentionality behind them. Of course, some of those things were innocent mistakes because we didn't know. But mistakes are still mistakes regardless.
And then the mistakes that you can't.
We can't reverse. It's not reversible. Can I go back to 311 now?
So recently on the community, by the way, if you're a part of our community, seriously. So if you'd like to join our community, you can check out our website, you can check out our social media pages. Recently on the community page, we're talking about, this video of this guy that, I can't remember his Teller, yeah. Of this guy that was interviewing a couple of people, and he was talking about, I think they said they were masters.
Yes, they were masters.
The concept of value now came up about how certain people would be at certain stages, and maybe at that point I'm trying to see how I would put this question, but it's like, okay, this person has a certain type level of value. This person is doing this. The concept of, should I say, popularity and value. Okay. How some people are just popular for doing things. And what would share for you things you've done in the past? We've seen, are you like carrying placards, are you carrying cardboards? You didn't like to really check out his page. You can't get bored on using Instagram. I was like, it's last week or 2 weeks ago that you were still like with this placard in Lagos talking about an event and all of that.
Yeah.
But now, where does the line get drawn between, I'm just a random content creator and then, should I say, giving out value? So where does one get drawn?
Who draws the line at first?
I don't know.
There is carpet. People, I guess, that's where the answer lies. It's either you draw the line by yourself or you let people draw it for you. You have to choose one. The line is specific now. So you either draw it yourself or you let people draw it for you. Now, I remember that conversation about that day, and I was trying to explain that the line is fooling up and down because it is bringing money to his pocket. Simple. I can bet it. There is a line that he knows that he cannot cross. Let me give you an example. In the Bonham way, he should drag the president of Nigeria and say nonsense. Hey, he should not try. He should not try. He should not even do too much. Just try. And call him out. You know the way this black guy that has most, what's his name? VGM or whatever. Yeah, very anyway. He should just try and do something like that, but in his own style. You know the way he do say rubbish about people, like anyhow. He should do the same thing. So president of Nigeria should watch. He should just be. Let me make the president like he's even a bit too much. He just drag one of these popular people online, even like Gabo Jr. Just try a lot of stuff like that. And watch, there will be some level of repercussions that wouldn't be too good. Yeah. That wouldn't be too good. Of course, he's in the entertainment industry that cloud chasing is the currency for being relevant. Obviously, just accept and believe that. Many times that I just saw stunt online, I'm like, you push should have known now. For example, like music artists, they do it enough. They just start some controversy Saturday. Yeah. They want to release album now, all those the music, so they have to be talk of the town now. You get it? So someone like Piola, right? He knows, or he should know the line that he cannot cross. Because if he does not know, he will cross the line and people will wipe him cord for him. So the cocoa about line crossing, it means that you are expected to have a personal value system for yourself that creates the boundary by nature. That creates the boundary by nature. And as time goes by, boundary changes, boundary tweaks. Boundary is not exactly something that is just limited like us for life. It changes, right? I used to be somebody that despised guys that makes hair before. Yeah, I used to be, right? But knowledge came, I understand things better, and I thought, okay, this is a wrong perspective to life, and my boundary changed. So when I meet people that make hair now, guys, what's up, guys? Fun fact, those times, it's not since I will see the beauty, but there's also one weird thing in my head that's a story like around. Did you get it? But look, things has changed. I've improved. Then I announced that, okay, this is what is this. The same thing also goes for the other side. Boundaries changes for people when they move from what they feel is right to what they feel is not right. But see, the whole thing about line is you don't have to be. It is best advice that you are the one that creates the line by yourself. It is best advice that you're the one that creates the line by yourself, because people would always continue to want to blur the line for you or extend it beyond where you want it to be. But I know that originally created it for yourself. You know where to stop. You know where to continue. It's very simple. For someone like me, right? I had a conversation with a friend lately, and then he said, "Sam, you know you're getting popular, guys. Please don't don't always post everything about you or something." I said, "Okay, thank you very much. Of course, I don't mind to post everything about me, but what is being careful of is when you're becoming popular, every area of the life is micro-analyzed. In fact, they can just be watching this video and somebody will just look at this ring and be like, this range look like everybody start paying attention to you. So at that point in time, I need to now be able to say, okay, Saamu, this is the line around where I currently have. Don't cross it before people will come and define anything for you." So,
I mean, because when I saw that, I mean, there were a lot of back and forth about, oh, it's because they are not got it to where he is. Some people were like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. So like a lot of conversations. But anyway, thank you very much, Saamu Eléja, for that. Rob. Can I play a big game?
I'm with you.
Okay. I would have to get out my phone for that. Okay. Let me get the game ready. You're going to fill in the blanks, sort of. Okay. Yeah. It's just going to be about a fourth. So the thing is, the first one is, I read it.
Let's have it. What it is, the Kaya Federal is also bring it up.
Okay. The first thing I do before launching a campaign is
auditing of what have already been done, then create a new plan. Simple.
Okay. If I had 1 million naira for a single project, I would.
I would like data to determine how best to use it. That's second to primary.
Data. like detail. I mean, first I like good documents, do this, and I'll take all that.
That's what makes a successful marketer now. If you don't work with data, you just burn resources. I think that what makes sense is what makes sense. But then what makes sense is not always popular.
Third one, the biggest marketing red flag is
Eating data. Crazy data. Eating data. Not doing it with data. I mean, I let the company live like lately mainly because of that. Yep.
okay. Last word. The boldest thing I've done for a campaign is
Boldest thing I've done for a campaign. I've done top till okay, I think kneeling down in the market to make content, yes. That should be market. Either that one or kneeling down at Third Mainland Bridge, one of the two. Well, I'll leave it to the others to pick. One of these.
check out the social media. Anyway, that was really really awesome. Thank you very much, Saamu Eléja, for that. Once again, I think you all should check out his pages. He's Saamu Eléja
Without enough probably.
on Instagram or Twitter, and he's Samuel Oyebode on LinkedIn. Once again, my name is Tsemigru. Wow. And this podcast, Buzzworthy, is brought to you by the High Incubator. So if you feel like this is your vibe, if you feel like you would like to know more about us, check out our social media pages at the Hive Incubator, Incubator Hive, or on Instagram, Incubator Hive on LinkedIn, and Incubator Hive on Twitter. Also, if you'd like to join our community, you can check out our community pages at thehiveup.ng on Instagram and on Twitter, and also the Hive Up on LinkedIn. We have a community, we have events regularly that brings people of similar interest. If you're an artist, if you're into comedy, if you're into drama, if you like to dance, come on, our community is there for you. So thank you very much. See you on the next episode. Bye. Bye.